When I first started doing this whole YouTube internet thing, I was a manager at a dollar store. I feel like I'm a pretty good judge on whether or not this is true in a good video. And let me tell you, when I was working there, it was an absolute disaster. I was working at the black and yellow one right there. Small town.
There are over 36,000 dollar stores across the US. That's more than one store for every 10,000 people. These companies have long been Wall Street darlings.
During the Great Recession in 2009, 2010, both Dollar General and Dollar Tree were two of the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 in those 2 years.
The share price for Dollar Tree and Dollar General, the two biggest players in the space, far outpaced the S&P 500, jumping over 1,500% between 2008 and 2022. But over the past 2 years, the stocks of both companies have plummeted. And the outlook, at least in the near term, isn't showing promising signs of recovery.
I think COVID really helped them a lot, helped them expand a lot, because people didn't want to go to the big box stores. Too many people, too big. People were out going to the dollar stores. Plus, a lot of places got shut down, so dollar store was open. They went to dollar store. It was an essential service. So they just expanded, put dollar stores everywhere. Look at them now. And I think Dollar Tree got bought out by somebody, or they bought somebody out. It was not a good idea. They should have seen this coming. They should have known that everything was going to crash, go back to normal after the pandemic was over. Like, come on.
We had this.
I think it was because they were banking on everybody still going to be stuck in their houses, not able to do anything.
This pretty good growth over a period of decades, but in the last decade, we've added about 50% more stores, and that's brought a number of challenges.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree have both cut guidance recently, which set off alarm bells for investors.
So what's happened to dollar stores? And what do these companies need to do to get back on track?
Well, I can tell you one thing, that they're working from the top down instead of the bottom up. Because nothing worked. Nothing worked like the way it was supposed to. And they had all these systems that we were supposed to use. And the systems didn't work because the devices wouldn't work. And the trucks wouldn't come in correctly. We wouldn't get the right stuff. We wouldn't get enough stuff. We'd get too much stuff. It was always something, man. And it was never like, oh, that's kind of a problem. No, it was always like, oh, this day is going to be a problem.
Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar are the three largest brands in the space. Dollar Tree owns both Family Dollar and its namesake brand. In fiscal 2023, the two companies brought in nearly $70 billion in combined revenue.
Yeah, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. That's what I was talking about.
All three brands have thousands of stores across the country, but target very different areas and demographics. Dollar Tree sells a lot of seasonal and discretionary items, think wrapping paper and toys, typically in suburban strip malls. The Family Dollar chain, which the company acquired in 2015 for $9 billion, is generally found in more urban areas. Meanwhile, Dollar General focuses on a primarily rural customer base.
The roots of dollar stores were in rural America, outer suburbs.
I live in a town of 3,000. And there are 3 Dollar Generals around me.
Of metro markets. It was sort of the places where there wasn't sort of a big established value retail presence.
A key thing to understand about dollar stores is that their main goal is to be an affordable place to shop with whatever set budget you have, not necessarily the best value for your money. For example, this box of 15 dryer sheets is $1.25. It's a better quote-unquote deal to go up the road to Target and get a box of 240 of them for $10.
Yeah, but if you ain't got $10 and you need some dryer sheets, you know.
But if $10 is your entire budget for the trip to the store, it makes more sense to go to the dollar store. On the outside, these types of stores may not look so bad. From 2019 to 2023, sales have increased by about 30% for Dollar Tree and about 40% for Dollar General. In the same time period, these companies have added over 5,000 stores, New stores will naturally increase revenues, but that can mask slow sales growth at existing locations.
The companies can say, well, we're still growing revenues nicely. Both companies are saying they're taking market share. And these are all true statements, but when you really drill down to where you're taking share, like at a per store basis, and that's where you would suggest that perhaps they aren't, that they're losing some share.
High inflationary.
Man, that self-checkout ruined a lot. It took up so much time at the end of the night. Like, that was an extra 30 minutes just to shut that thing down. And we already only had, like, how long do we have? Literally 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes from the time we close to the time to get out of there is 15 minutes. And if we were later than that time, we'd get in trouble. And we had responsibilities we had to do within those 15 minutes.
Times disproportionately affect lower income consumers. Dollar General's core customer base, which is households earning less than $35,000 per year, contribute to about 60% of its overall sales.
We're in a strange time where the jobs market is still relatively strong, and that means middle and upper income households don't feel that same level of pressure to turn to a different store or to shop dramatically different than their everyday habits. At the same time, the core customer, those lower income customers that rely on dollar stores, are getting even more selective and are tending to buy needs versus wants. Things like food that just tend to be lower margin.
Yeah, that's a sign that the inflation is going out of control. We've been told for years that, oh, the inflation's good. Inflation's good. It's down. Well, I ain't seeing it.
Lower margin means they are less profitable, but food and household items have become increasingly important to the dollar store customer. In its 2024 second quarter earnings call, Dollar General said it's decreased its non-consumable inventory by 13% versus last year. The effect of inflation is also apparent at Dollar Tree stores whose long differentiated strategy was a store-wide $1 price point. In 2021, that changed.
Even if you just take a step back and you think about sort of the magic around a retail box where everything is $1, and if you have 8 items in your basket, it's gonna...
Yeah, now the new Dollar Tree where everything's $1 is the Five Below, where everything's below $5. And guess what? Some things are above $5.
It costs you $8. And now you move to $1.25. It reduces some of that magic overall. And it sounds silly, but it confuses the shopping experience, makes it a little more complex.
Some of the dollar store's lackluster financial results can be pointed to the conditions of its physical stores.
It's just a less desirable place to shop. I mean, the whole idea is that dollar stores are convenient, but if you go there and there's only one cash register open and there's 8 people in line, it takes 10 to 15 minutes to check out.
Yeah, with only 2 workers working and you have the responsibility to stock the entire store. Even with barely any customers, you ain't getting what you got to do done because you're going to run into so many problems. And they expect you to get it all done. And they're like, oh, this is the time it should take to do this. And they're running off of some competition that they ran to, and then they get the averages from that. And just the issues that you have just trying to stock. Like, the label will be wrong, prices will be wrong. You know whose responsibility that is? That's the store manager's responsibility to pass it down onto the other managers or whatever. I don't know. It might not be. That's just how we did it. But we couldn't keep up with it because there were just too many responsibilities to do. So people would quit. We'd have people in and out of there all the time. We'd never have one solid crew. Always having to teach somebody something. Yeah, their turnover rate really bad where I was working. And it was always busy because it was the only store in town.
You're losing your convenience angle. Or sometimes there's boxes in the aisles you can't even get down the aisle because it's blocked.
So my stock room is literally overflowed and looked like this. So tell me.
We would have the stock room full and overflowing out of the door into the store sometimes. Because they'd just send us so much stuff. There was a store that I helped open up. They sent way too many Snickers. And then they told us to get them sold. So we had a whole wall of nothing but Snickers.
Does your Dollar General look like this?
Customers notice when a company is not minding the store. They see that there are boxes that are cluttering aisles. They notice that the item they want is out of stock.
And everything's messy?
And so they may decide to go elsewhere. And Dollar Tree and Dollar General have been having execution problems that have contributed
Too bad, in my area, there ain't nowhere else to go.
to a tougher economic backdrop.
Inventory challenges were especially apparent during the pandemic. These smaller sized, more affordable products normally found at dollar stores were deprioritized by manufacturers.
Customers that were then going into the stores, even if they found a store that was operationally okay, the assortment was now very different and didn't have some of the items that were the reason that they went to the discount channel in the first place.
Understaffing also became more apparent. The dollar store playbook has historically operated on a lean labor model. That has long created problems for both companies. But during the pandemic,
Right. Hold up.
that has long created
Join the booming dollar store economy. Low pay, long hours, may work while injured. Yeah, true. I was supposed to be part-time, but they were working me 38 hours a week. Working every single day except for one. For a while. And then, they had to switch things up. Right when I needed the money, they gave me less hours. Wouldn't you know it?
problems for both companies. But during the pandemic, those issues were exacerbated.
When COVID hit and the government was paying out subsidies, and there was a situation where lots of employees just opted out, didn't go to work, they didn't need to. So then you got into this situation where, the stores started to fall over.
Dollar General and Dollar Tree have also faced numerous worker safety violations in their stores over the past decade. In the beginning of 2024, Family Dollar was fined over $41 million for rodent-infested warehouses.
I was talking about employee deaths. Man, it was dangerous back there. Some of those carts are like full, and some of the carts are broken. Rolltainers, they call them. The wheels would be stacked above your head. Just boxes that are as heavy as you are. Some of these ladies, they're having to sock it. They're having to deal with that. The carts are trying to roll them down the aisle. Yeah.
Family Dollar has been a burden for the Dollar Tree brand ever since its acquisition back in 2015.
It was really supposed to be sort of the Dollar General fighter. The challenge was that Family Dollar had always been the weakest of the dollar stores.
There's a Family Dollar in the next town over, and it is bad. It is so bad. Like, fridges don't work, lights don't work everywhere, it's dirty, never have anything in stock. Some of the products are expired. It's bad.
It was never as profitable. It never grew as much. And because the management of Family Dollar knew that it was going to be sold, they stopped investing in lots of things.
So even today, you're seeing, outdated technology systems, outdated distribution centers.
Oh yeah.
DCs that don't have air conditioning, HVAC systems at stores that are falling apart.
Yeah, right. And Dollar General, during the summer, they'd be like, okay, we can't have the air set under 85. We have to set it to 85 because 85 is the limit to where things start melting. But what they don't take into account is that the door opens during the summer, making the store hotter and melting everything.
So these are long legacy issues
Also, storms would flood the store all the time.
that Dollar Tree just didn't make the proper investments in, despite now in their 9th year of ownership.
Family Dollar is the only one of the three brands that has seen a decline in foot traffic from 2019 to 2024. And now Dollar Tree wants to get rid of it. But aside from the internal struggles that these companies are grappling with, Walmart has also become a major problem for them.
When you go back to the Great Recession and the dollar stores were doing well, Walmart was not putting up strong same-store sales growth. I think that's where there was trading away from Walmart and moving more to the dollar stores. The opposite seems to be happening today, where Walmart is putting up terrific same-store sales growth. They're gaining share of that lower middle-income wallet, and they're bringing in newer middle and upper-income consumers.
Walmart is keenly aware of how good these dollar stores have been for a long time, and I've learned a lot from them as well.
90% of Americans live within 10 miles of a Walmart store. To put the impact of Walmart into context, the retail giant increased its U.S. sales by about $4.5 billion in its most recent quarter. That's about 4% higher than the year prior. It's also about half the amount of Dollar General's total sales last quarter, and about
It's funny that Walmart's the reason why we only have a Dollar General now, because we did have one of the first Walmart in the country in my town. And then it shut down. And then Dollar General took over. Now it's terrible.
60% of Dollar Tree's total sales. A big part of the retail giant's recent success is due to its investment in e-commerce.
A lot of legacy brick and mortar companies like a Walmart, Home Depot, Best Buy, I like to say they made about 5 years of e-com and digital investments in about 12 to 18 months during COVID. So the digital capabilities of a lot of companies have also gotten a lot better in recent years.
Dollar stores, because of the investments you have to make to pull off a larger online business, have not been able to move as quickly in those ways.
Dollar General says that the middle and upper income consumers have become more engaged in e-commerce, and those customers may not be trading down to dollar stores like they used to. Beyond e-commerce, another consideration is Dollar Store's heavy investment in its grocery offering. At the same time, discount...
I've been seeing a lot of these like discount stores popping up. Like we have 2 local stores where these ladies, they just buy stuff online in bulk and resell them. And it's cheaper and it's better organized than the dollar stores. And they actually care about their store. Dollar General's just way too corporate. Walmart is way too corporate too. Eventually it's gonna fall apart.
Grocery companies like the European chain Aldi are growing rapidly in the U.S. Its location count has increased by about 1,000 stores over the past decade.
I think Aldi and Lidl are a lot more important than the financial media tends to think they are, because they're privately owned and they're small stores and they don't have the profile that Walmart or Amazon has. But there are thousands of Aldis, and those are almost always in the same markets that the dollar stores are.
Even as inflation normalizes, dollar stores are not well positioned to benefit.
We have lower interest rates and the consumer is better next year. Your consumers will be buying more discretionary type of goods. So maybe the fundamentals could get a little bit better for the dollar stores with consumer spending.
People are tired of buying cheap crap. Especially whenever the cheap crap is getting expensive too. So they're just not buying it. Half of what the dollar stores were making was just like cheap bullshit that old ladies want. And I could notice during COVID, whenever the inflation was going absolutely insane, that everybody was complaining more and more and more.
But you'll see other retailers outperform because they're more exposed to the discretionary merchandise.
Look at the merchandise breakdown for the 3 major dollar store brands. Dollar General and Family Dollar are both about 80% consumable items. Dollar Tree has far more discretionary products. President-elect Donald Trump ran his campaign pushing for higher tariffs on goods imported from China. That will affect Dollar Tree especially, as the chain imports over 40% of its merchandise, mostly from China. That's much higher than its other brand, Family Dollar, and its competitor, Dollar General. Plus, its fixed-price $1.25 model means margins would be squeezed even tighter. The chain is focused on introducing more multi-priced items to increase spending at its stores.
So what's the point of it then? You need to change the name because people are remembering it as Dollar Tree, where everything's a dollar. That's how they marketed it forever. Decades.
That core Dollar Tree model has a really nice niche. Everything's $1.25. So you get smaller pack items, you get special deals from...
No, people do not like that. These people, he's coping. Because people do not like $1.25. They want dollar. They want it like it's been for decades. Because that's how they know. I remember people were complaining. People still complain passively.
Suppliers, you start selling branded items at $2, $3, $4. Those are the same items that are at grocery stores or at Walmart. And so maybe a sales lift, but also maybe longer term competition.
The minimum salary threshold to qualify for overtime pay is set to increase on January 1st, 2025.
The dollar stores, store managers, small box, oftentimes in rural, lower cost of living locations, oftentimes make less than $59,000 on a salary basis. So if the
What are you talking about? Oftentimes. My store manager was barely making more than me, and I was minimum wage.
this rule change goes through, it would cause expense pressure on the dollar store for both banners.
Another consideration for future success is leadership. Dollar General's CEO is on his second stint running the company. Dollar Tree CEO announced he was stepping down.
They're not even talking about the amount of items that get stolen that they do absolutely nothing about. They just ignore it. And there are obvious ways to get around it. Like, you could install a camera in the aisle that everybody's stealing stuff on. So it's so dumb. It's so dumb. We had to clean out that aisle all the time. It's because it's too expensive. Too expensive to install a camera. Too expensive to do anything about these people stealing. Yeah, it might be a little expensive to get that camera installed, but how much are you losing over time?
Down at the start of November 2024. A Dollar Tree spokesperson told CNBC Dollar Tree and Family Dollar play a vital role in providing high-quality, low-priced items that help our shoppers do more for less. With new leadership, we are continuing on our journey to transform the business and position ourselves as a leader in the workplace and associate safety through meaningful investments. Dollar General declined CNBC's request for an interview.
By the way, they made me do a diversity, equity, and inclusion test. And that's what started the snowball down the hill for me, not wanting to work at this company anymore. And in the video, there was not a single regular white dude.
Interview or comment. With succession planning and economic uncertainty a question mark for both companies, it's increasingly clear that getting the dollar store businesses back.
White guy was in a wheelchair. There was another white dude, but he was gay.
On track is going to require a multifaceted approach.
Dollar stores are contending with a mix of self-inflicted problems and also problems that they're contending with because the macroeconomic environment is just a lot tougher. You know, people who shop at dollar stores tend to have less income, and so they are going to feel every push and pull of the economy. But at the same time, these retailers have to get their stores back in line, and to draw back shoppers and build more loyalty, they need to mind the store.
As a former dollar store manager, I don't see how they fix this, actually. It's just the way that they run the whole thing is just from the core, it's rotten. Nothing works. I don't know how they're afloat. They must be barely holding on and like coins flying out of them as they take their beating. I don't know what would happen to my town if they all went away, though. That's what they live off of here, man.